Hello and welcome to Racers Now. The 2000 Guineas has just had a proper anti-post market shake-up as Field of Gold today, Thursday, the 16th of April, has just won the Craven Stakes in impressive, very, very impressive fashion at Newmarket's Craven meeting, day 2 of that meeting. Came into the race having disappointed somewhat towards the back end of last season, but let's not forget that Field of Gold did win the Solario Stakes in nice fashion, in and around some good horses at Sandown last August, and has come into today's race as a 25-1 shot, wazzed in, and now finds himself as a 3-1 market leader for the 2000 Guineas with just over 2 weeks away. And there were some really good yardsticks and good form going into that Craven. The Craven of the two trials, the other one being the Greenham at Newmarket at Newbury. We'll come on to that one. This Craven looked a much better renewal to me before the race than did the Newbury equivalent. We had horses with genuine, decent, graded and group form going into that race. The Craven, Wimbledon Hawkeye, Field of City himself, Field of Gold, Amore City, New Century, etc. They had been in and around Group 1 races without quite winning them as juveniles, but New Century actually won a Grade 1 over in America. But some really good horses coming into the Craven, and whoever won that was definitely going to have an impact on the 2000 Guineas market, and that horse was Field of Gold. He travelled really, really quite well. The drying ground, it was soft on day 1 of the Craven meeting on Tuesday. Wednesday, with the wind, with the drying conditions there at Newmarket, dries very quickly. He seemed very much at home with himself. Kieran Schumacher, pretty brave ride, really. A man under pressure at many times throughout last season. Not that I put much stock into the jockey talk. But yeah, travelled pretty well. In and around some traffic, and Kieran waited for the space. He thought he had the horse to do that. He did so. And when he got that gap, Field of Gold really did bound clear. Bang, bang, impressive. And yeah, he's gone straight in at the click of a button from 25-1 to 3-1. It's going to give Juddmonte a bit of a headache now because they had 3 contenders really going into today, Field of Gold being the biggest price of them, and now is the shortest price. They've also got in there John Quill, who won the Greenham Stakes at Newbury, tipped up on this channel, anti-post at 10-1 by SD. I didn't think that renewal was that up to much. I thought the Craven was a much better quality race than the Greenham. So John Quill for Andrew Baldwin, they're going to have to decide where he's going. Do they both go to the 2000 Guineas? Does one go to France? And then they've also got Cosmic Law, or Cosmic Year, should I say, who found himself as 8-1 third favourite for the 2000 Guineas a week or so ago before the trial started, on the back of one novice start as a 2-year-old, and then he's won at Kempton at 2-9 by 5 lengths. We didn't learn a lot about Cosmic Year there, other than that he is fit and well and still alive. He was 2-9 and got the job done there. He's drifted now as a result of John Quill's success and Field of Gold. Surely they might be looking elsewhere for Cosmic Year with his inexperience. But all the talks about Field of Gold is he could be short. By the time you watch this video, he could be 5-2, 11-4. The 2000 Guineas market needed a shake-up, because at the top of the market, before Field of Gold's exploits in the Craven, we had 3 or 4 horses that are yet to run this year and intend to go straight to the 2000 Guineas. Twain, Scorthy Champ, Shadow of Light, all Group 1 winners in their own right last year as juveniles, but we're going to go straight there. So, do we know we wouldn't have any clues how good they are in 2025. We often see that with the 2000 Guineas, particularly with Aidan O'Brien horses. They tend to go straight there. But I thought that Twain was, although he was impressive in what he did last year, just in the space of 8 days, remember, he won a maiden at Leopardstown, and 8 days later won one of those end-of-season Saint-Cloud Grade 1s at the Criterium International. In the space of 8 days, fair play to him. But I thought Twain found himself at the top of the anti-post market just by default, really, just by being Aidan O'Brien's supposed lead hope. And yeah, just there because he's trained by Aidan O'Brien, and yeah, he's got that great Group 1 win from last year, but he's not got the best form from last year. That probably goes to Shadow of Light. More of him in a minute. But yeah, I think as the Lion in Winter was ruled out of the 2000 Guineas, and Twain was thrust into the number 1 position, seemingly from Ballydoyle 2 or 3 months ago, that wouldn't have been the case. He might have been second, third, maybe behind Expanded, maybe the third choice. Well, he's found himself as the O'Brien for first choice. And then as a result of that, he's found himself at the top of the market. I didn't think he deserved quite to be there, particularly over Shadow of Light. Well, Field of Gold has now taken a more prominent position than all of those mentioned. So, yeah, John Gosden, interestingly enough, in his illustrious CV, does not have a 2,000 guineas win on there. Field of Gold could be the one to provide him with that first win. So yeah, really, really interesting. Scorthy champ for Joseph O'Brien, last year's national stakes winner at the Curragh Group 1, is an intended runner. Twain, as we've mentioned, is an intended runner. Shadow of Light seems to be the one that's going a little bit under the radar, you could say. The trials, both filly and colt trials for Godolphin, haven't gone particularly well. We've seen Opera Ballo and Amore City both beaten today. We'll mention them in a moment. But Shadow of Light, the plan has been to go straight to the Guineas. That's what they're going to stick to. Remember, he was a two-time Group 1 winner last year, winning the Middle Park Stakes in September and the Dewhurst Stakes in October. Usually, for a horse that is won the Dewhurst Stakes, would be, top of the talking points for the 2,000 guineas. But there is that question over whether he stays or not. And like you say, it's been a little bit quiet in his build-up so far. And the headlines have been taken by A, the Aidan O'Brien runner, no surprises there, and B, as of today, Field of Gold. We've mentioned him a few times, but it does still feel a very pretty wide open feel to it. In 15 years, in the last 15 years of the 2,000 guineas, no horse has been 4-1 or bigger. There's only on two occasions as the SP of the favourite been 4-1 or bigger. So usually we do have a shorter price dominant favourite at this time. Field of Gold may have taken that position as of today, but it's still pretty open away from Field of Gold with those horses, Twain, Scorthy Champ, Shadow of Light, and others that might well go straight to the 2,000 guineas. So really quite exciting. Is there any value in the market at the moment? Not sure. I don't think I'd be having a bet at the moment. I'm going to wait for the picture to become a little bit clearer. I do have a bet in the 1,000 guineas, so make sure you're checking that video out as well. But yeah, really, really excited now. Really excited. We're just over 2 weeks away. The trials are in the bag. The talk is now all about those first classics of the season. The Cheltenham's on this week, but after that, the jump season is in the rearview mirror, and it's all systems go for the flat. Exactly the period of the season that I love. A couple of things away from those trials this week. We mentioned Cosmic Year. He was at Kempton a couple of weeks ago, just showed that he was fit and well. It was a Class 5 novice stakes. He won pretty easily with the exploits of Juddmonte in the trials. He might be an unlikely runner at this stage, Cosmic Year. News from the Jessica Harrington yard in Ireland. She's got two exciting classic contenders in the Colts division for 2025. Racing Post Trophy winner Hot As Hell, who was in the region of 25 to 1 for the 2,000 guineas, is unlikely to be going to Newmarket and will instead head for the French version. The French 2,000 guineas over there. And also from Jessica Harrington, she has this horse, Green Impact, who's decent enough, one to note. He is going to be going to Newmarket. That is the intention there. He got the better of Ballydoyle's Delacroix on 2 occasions last year, did Green Impact. Delacroix also ran in the Racing Post Trophy and was also second behind another Jessica Harrington horse in Hot As Hell, as we've mentioned. So Jessica Harrington has a pretty strong hold over that Ballydoyle contender in Delacroix. And remember, Delacroix has already been out this year and won a race from pretty much a miracle position over at Leopardstown. So that form of both Green Impact, who is an intended runner at Newmarket, and Hot As Hell, who is going to France, has been well advertised by Delacroix already this season. So absolutely all sorts to look forward to. Regular viewers will know that the 2,000 guineas is my favourite race of the season. And thank you to all the new followers and new viewers as well. One thing that I would note before I sign off, ahead of the Craven, Opera Ballo, I was really looking forward to seeing him run. I thought he was really impressive on 2 starts this year on the all-weather. He didn't run as a juvenile. He had a start in February, a start in March for Charlie Appleby at Kempton. Bang impressive on both occasions. Had a similar feel to him to Notable Speech, who won last year's 2,000 guineas. He didn't run as a 2-year-old. He won on the all-weather twice. He turned up at Newmarket and won the 2,000 guineas. Well, this Opera Ballo has had one more start than that profile from Notable Speech last year. And he did run in the Craven. He was well backed. He went off second favourite. Interestingly enough, William Buick did not ride Opera Ballo. That may be a clue in itself, but he pulled really, really hard early doors. He ran very, very free and ultimately disappointing for fans of Opera Ballo like me. But the Craven, as we said at the top of the show, was all about that one horse, Field of Gold, who now finds himself as the strong 3-1 market leader for the 2,000 Guineas. Make sure you keep it locked here on Racers Now. We've got SD's Daily Tips. We've got the YouTube show on a Thursday giving previews and tips for all the big Saturday races. And I take care of the anti-post stuff here on Racers Now. Thanks for joining us.